Hello, folks. I'm doing a little bit of a setup here. Please bear with me as I make the final touches to my stream before I begin the show. I'll be right back in a few minutes. Hey, welcome, Karen and La Toxica. Welcome back. Um, I am waiting for YouTube to start displaying its chat, so bear with me for a moment. Okay, YouTube chat is up. Perfect. Okay, I can take my BRB sign back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, fellow artists. I'm Liza, your enthusiastic multimedia artist and maker, and I'm absolutely thrilled to welcome you to my weekly virtual craft market right here on Whatnot. You can join me every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for a chill shopping or window shopping experience where I showcase my whimsical mal de ojo jewelry. And hopefully, if I can get the shipping details hashed out, rustic fretless cigar box guitars. Don't know about that yet. I'm trying to get this to work on Whatnot because there's a lot of potential for selling my instruments here on Whatnot. But again, I'll keep you posted about that. A huge shout out to my fabulous friends tuning in on YouTube. Thank you for supporting both my channels, folks. Okay, so let's get the conversation going here on in both chats. Um, Before we jump into today's show, I want to give a little bit of an update on what's going on in my YouTube channel. Those of you who haven't visited my YouTube channel and whatnot, please go look for me on YouTube. I have the same username there, Psyche Opera. And on there, I feature my cigar box guitar builds. I have cigar box lessons for cigar box guitars for excuse me. I have playing lessons for fretless cigar box guitar, basically slide guitar lessons. I'm not an expert slide guitar player. I just share what I know and pass it on. Um, I have tutorials on many things on there, but mostly revolving around audio electronics and music technology and stage lighting and Max 9, which is a graphic object oriented programming interface and language that was designed for musicians, audio engineers, and multimedia artists. So go check out my channel if you like making things, and are into music and electronic music and electroacoustic music. I have something there for all of you. Um, Next week, um, midweek, probably Wednesday or Thursday, I have a very special unboxing for my folks on YouTube. The great Del Puckett has sent me some really nice gifts, and I want to unbox them for you on camera. And yeah, just want to, and I want to send him a gift in return, and I need a little advice from my YouTube audience as to what T-shirt design that I've put together for my merch shop you think he'll like. And so we're gonna have a little bit of an unboxing, a little bit of a poll in a short stream next week. That's going to be an exclusively YouTube stream, folks. So please, um, yeah, if you're interested in all of this stuff, find me on YouTube. Okay. Same username at Psyche Opera. Um, Now, guess what these are, folks? See all of these Mal de Ojo jewelry pieces? Y'all know, if you've been watching my channel and my streams, that we make them, me and my mom, make them with fish tank glass. And this is what I'm talking about. The thing is, it's very difficult, very difficult to find the fish tank glass that is 1 inch in diameter. I bought when I couldn't find these, I bought this instead. These perfectly calibrated glass cabochons to paint my eyes on. But the thing is, I prefer the more rough and tumble fish tank glass. Why? Because the irregularities in the fish tank glass make the eyes look more organic. So I was so thrilled to finally find a pack of these. It used to be that I could find this fish tank glass at any Dollar Tree for $1. Now the only place that I can find it um, is in Hobby Lobby and hidden away in the crafting section. It isn't even in the floral section. So this is the only place where I could find these. And it's very rare to find them without that titanium coating that makes them iridescent. And so this for me was a great find, and it was at a good price too. So I'm gonna start making new dragon eye, gator eye, cat eye pieces for jewelry making, and as part of my new cigar box guitar headstocks, I have this idea for making a CBG look like a wizard staff. Um, just to explain a little bit. Let me move this back. Y'all can see how very easy it would be to stylize a cigar box guitar to make it look like a wizard staff. And so, what I'm planning to do, and not just for my diddly bills, but I want to do this for my three stringer as well. I want to make a batch where I place a cat eye or a dragon eye or a gator eye at the top of the headstock. And then I use my laser engraver to carve out Celtic patterns onto the neck of the instrument. And then I'm going to detail those patterns with, I'll show you, with some metal leaf. I'm going for a really illuminated medieval look here. And so, yeah, I'm excited to move forward with these new ideas. And yeah. So, again, keep an eye on my channels for more information about my cigar box guitars and diddly bows and the new stylings I'm going to create for these guys. And I'm even thinking about, instead of using my typical scale degree markers on the side, I'm going to use solfeggio just to give it a more medieval vibe. That doesn't make sense until you see what I'm thinking. Um, so I look forward to showing off, first of all, realizing and then showing off that idea here on YouTube and on whatnot. So stay tuned for that, folks. All right. Do we have anyone in the chat on YouTube? Say hello, everyone. Say hello. Okay. All right. I'm putting Diddly Bow back. Putting him back. Putting him back. Putting him back. Alrighty, just resetting a little bit here. Alright. Alright. So, welcome, Susan. Welcome. So, I appreciate everyone who's tuned in. So, those were my announcements. And yeah. So, let's move forward though with the topic of today's live stream. Here's what's up on the show today, folks. Let me move my fish tank glass out of the way here. So, as I always say, if you're in search of truly one of a kind jewelry pieces that are guaranteed to spark conversations that begin like, where the hell did you get that? Then you've come to the right place. Today, I'm excited to showcase a selection of my enchanting eye amulets, crafted in collaboration with my incredibly talented mother, Illuminata. And I always say, that's such an incredible name for an artist, right? It means the illuminated one. My mom, like me, is a multifaceted artist, and I owe my creative spirit to her. And our journey in crafting has spanned years and countless artisanal markets in Miami and in North Florida, making us somewhat seasoned veterans in the craft fair scene. But as some of you already know, we're currently experimenting with this platform, but we're loving it so far. So, I hit I hit the stand my phone is on. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cause an earthquake, excuse me. So, now Without any further ado, let's dive into the inspiration behind the jewelry you're going to see today. Our eye amulets are our unique interpretation of the mal de ojo or evil eye amulets, which has been traditionally worn to ward off curses and negative energies. For anyone who is curious, amulets are used to ward off negative energies, while talismans are used to attract positive energies. In Latin American culture, mal de ojo amulets have a rich, oops, excuse me, forgot to do something here. Bloop, bloop. Okay, forgot to do something here, folks. Sorry. Um, In Latin American culture, Maldejo amulets have a rich history designed to specifically protect against the unintentional curses cast by the eyes of those who are jealous or envious of you. We've got a few unique Maldejo designs on the docket today. We've got fish eyes, we've got gator eyes, we've got dragon eyes. Thus, they're back, thus throwing the curse back at the caster. Okay. Um, I was curious to learn more about the history of this type of jewelry we make. So last week I asked Gemini, Google's AI personal assistant, to provide information on the history of evil eye jewelry. Um, Last week it gave me a comprehensive history. This week I requested an interesting historical story about a specific evil eye tradition. And it took me back to ancient Greece. And it talked about something called mati. Here's what Gemini revealed. So let me pull up its little blurb. So this is the little blurb Gemini gave me about mati from ancient Greece. So it says, tonight, as you consider these handmade pieces, I want you to I want to take you back thousands of years to ancient Greece. The Greeks, a civilization renowned for its philosophy, art, and mythology, were also deeply concerned with a phenomenon they called mati, the evil eye. They believed that a malicious glare fueled by envy could bring misfortune, illness, or even death to the person being looked at. This wasn't necessarily a deliberate curse. Sometimes it was thought that even excessive admiration could unintentionally trigger the evil eye's power. Imagine someone complimenting your beautiful child or your thriving business with such intensity that it inadvertently brought bad luck. Actually, my mom's told me a few stories where this has happened to her. You know, she being praised by someone, and then the next for her plants, for example, she's a very avid gardener, and she says this one person, got into the habit of really, really, you know, showering her with praise in regards to her garden, and then all of the sudden, you know not long after she received the praise on that particular plant, that plant started to wilt. And so she told me that person has mal de ojo. So yeah, some people take s- you know some people take these stories seriously. It is something that is deeply ingrained, not just in Greek culture but also Latin American culture. So interesting, huh? Well, back to the story about Mati. To protect themselves from this unseen threat, the ancient Greeks developed various amulets and talismans, and one of the most enduring was the Mati. the eye symbol. Often made of blue glass, these eyes were believed to reflect the harmful gaze back to the sender, neutralizing its negative energy. Archaeological discoveries have unearthed these ancient Mati amulets, some dating back thousands of years, demonstrating how deeply ingrained this belief was in their everyday lives. They would adorn their homes, their children, and even their animals with these protective symbols. It wasn't just superstition, it was a genuine belief in a form of unseen energy and the need for defense. Very interesting, right? Specifically, in Cuba, um, the write up talked about putting a talisman on a newborn. In Cuba, there's a little mineral. I don't know what the mineral's called, but it's cut in facets and pinned onto the clothing of a child. This thing is called azabache. And azabache is supposed to protect from mal de ojo, people who look at your child with envy. Um, and if I go back and look at baby pictures from my family, you can I've noticed that a lot of my cousins um and old pictures of my aunts and things like that, you'll see the azabache there. You know, it's deeply ingrained in Cuban culture as well. Welcome, Lola. Welcome, Gray Fairy. Anyways, back to mati, which is specifically a Greek tradition. Um, okay, so connecting this to what we're making. So when you wear one of these handmade pieces from my shop, you're not just wearing a beautiful piece of jewelry. You're connecting with a tradition that spans millennia, a tradition born from a very real human concern, the desire to protect oneself and loved ones from harm. You're carrying a symbol that has been a silent guardian for countless people throughout history. Just as the ancient Greeks placed their faith in Mati, we make these little pieces um, to offer you a sense of protection and well being in our modern world. And I know all of us going through everyday life, we've experienced mal de ojo or evil eye at some point in our life, in our personal lives, in our careers, in our wada. So, yeah. So this is the inspiration behind all of our jewelry, all of them, all of our pieces, whether they be fish eye, dragon eyes, gator eyes. We just, put our own spin on this tradition. Anyway, let's talk about the pieces that you see in front of you right now. What you're seeing are, excuse me, close window. Okay. What you're seeing are our mal de ojo fish eyes. And these are on chains that are 24 inches long, and they're all made with hand painted fish tank glass embedded in baked polymer clay, hand painted as well. And this particular fisheye mal de ojo jewelry has little glass gems on them. These are more delicate looking than our other mal de ojo pieces, which are a little more in your face dramatic. These seem to me are more delicate and refined. So I'm going to run um, start the bidding on with these teardrop mal de ojo fish eyes. I'm gonna just put one on the mannequin at a time so that you know which piece I'm auctioning at the moment. The bidding starts at, I believe, at $7 for these pieces. I'll put up the listing and I'll know for sure. All right. So chat, before I take off any of these eyes, with which color shall we begin? Purple, red, or blue? Where shall the bidding begin? Purple, red, or blue? Any suggestions? All right. Let's go in order. Let's start with the purple. Doobity doo. Something else to know about these specific pieces, I can't tell you what metal this chain is using, but for these particular pieces, it is nickel free. So don't know what the metal is, but packaging does say it's nickel free. So just an FYI there. Let's start the bidding. Let's start with this purple fish eye amulet. I'm gonna pull up my shop, and those of you watching on YouTube, if you want to participate in the auctioning, just go to my Whatnot channel. Go to the video description box of this stream, and a link to Whatnot is available there. All right, and then if you don't have an account, it will prompt you to make one. Don't worry, it's an easy setup, and you can make a bid on any of the pieces that I present tonight. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So these particular pieces were part of my surprise unboxing from 2 streams ago. So that's why the listing says surprise unboxing Malvejo amulets. And so, Rain, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And if any of you has questions about any of the pieces, let me know in the chat. I am paying attention to both my Whatnot chat and my YouTube chat. So YouTube folks, feel free to join me in the chat. Now, I know YouTube people, you might be a little annoyed with some of the restrictions I have in the chat. Um, as one's channel grows on YouTube, one tends to attract more trolls, and so if you have subscribed to my channel and stick around for a while, you will be able to participate in the chat. So, since I am a one-man band here, streaming on 2 platforms, and I don't have any mods, the restrictions on YouTube help a little. Anyway, um, any interest in this purple piece? All right, let me save this baby for later, and I'm gonna pop on the blue mal de ojo fish eye amulet in teardrop shape. And again, these chains are about 24 inches long, so they're meant to be worn medium long. Here's a close-up. Here's what the back of the piece looks like. Have a little bit of some sparkly glass there. And this is what it looks like on Mannequin Skywalker here. This is what more or less it will look like on a person. All right. Here's a close-up of this one. Let me start the auctioning on the blue piece. Start auction. And there you go. Nice. Guitar and programming lessons. And ASMR. Hi, welcome. Welcome to my YouTube chat. Lamb Tracy, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, do we have any bids on this piece, folks? Guitar and programming lessons. If you weren't here for the beginning of the stream, I did give, I did have some announcements for people who follow my work on YouTube. Have an unboxing coming up, and a special stream coming up that's related to um, the podcast I'm going to do with Mr. Del Puckett. So yeah, you can rewind and check out my announcements, and if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat on YouTube. But if you want to make a bid on any of my um, Mal de Ojo amulets today, go to the video description box and click on the link there. That'll get you set up on Whatnot. But thanks for being in my chat, guitar and programming lessons. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, so no takers for this blue Maldejo fisheye. That's okay. We will come back to him later. Let's switch it up and let me give you a close-up of the red fish eye. Again, these are handmade pieces, folks. Handmade pieces. Hand-painted fish tank glass. Embedded in hand-shaped, hand-painted polymer clay. That's what it would look like on a person, more or less. These are definitely one of our more delicate pieces. Let's start the auction on the red fisheye, and feel free to make a bid at any time, folks. At any time, and if you have questions, please do pop them in the chat. I am paying attention to both YouTube chat and Whatnot chat. All right. All right, I do have more fish eyes to unpack here. Let me grab them from my box. Rob Tim, welcome. Okay. So I have three similar pieces. I'm going to pop on to Mannequin. I said Anakin. Mannequin Skywalker here. Let me go ahead and get them set up. All right. Those of you joining me from YouTube are probably like, cigar box guitars and handmade jewelry? What is going on here? Well, if you watch my channel trailer, one of the labels I like to give myself is maker. Why? Because I'm not just a musician. I'm not just, you know, a music technologist. I'm not just a composer. Um, I like making things, period. I kind of inherited that from my mom. But the thing is, I'm finding out that most artists, most real artists, most honest artists, you do a lot of things too, make a lot of things too, but just feel like they have to put themselves in a box when they talk to people, you know? And that sometimes can limit your art. It's like, well, I'm known for electronic opera, for example. Welcome, Samantha. But I love making jewelry, or I love building cigar box guitars, or I love, you know, making wine, or growing plants, or writing software, or writing stories. And then you just, sometimes, but I'm known for this. I should do more of that. You really gotta go with the flow and follow where your creativity wants to go, because when you follow inspiration, that's where your best work is going to happen. So yeah. And sometimes your work cross pollinates and you become a real musician. What do I mean by that? You know, what's the original meaning of the word music? The original meaning of the word music is of the muses. Anything that was inspired by the muses, any art, any discipline that was inspired by the muses in ancient Greek was considered to be music. Astronomy, dance, literature, all of that was considered to be music in ancient Greece. So in I'm I am a musician. I am a musician in in the modern terms and in the ancient Greek terms, because I am a maker. I make many things. I you know learn and make things in many disciplines, and I bet a lot of you do too. So don't feel pigeonholed or placed in a box. you know if you're if you're known, for example, for making jewelry, but also want to try your hand at making cigar box guitars because you learned about them, it's like, oh, I really want to make those. Make cigar box guitars, write music, um, and yeah, and you'll find that all of your art, everything you produce, when you follow your inspiration, will be at a higher level for sure. Anyways, let's get back to the little eyes here. So that was just a little aside, YouTube folks. When I say that I'm a maker, I really am a maker. Make many things. Something that I haven't featured on my channel except in the last videos, like I also make mead. I like fermenting things as well. That's another thing I make. Check out my latest video, folks, on YouTube. I tried a different format. Um, because I was inspired to, and a lot of people are enjoying it. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let's run an auction on these fish eye babies. Again, what we have here are hand painted fish tank glass embedded in hand shaped hand painted polymer clay. These are, thank you, La Toxica. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that you appreciate my jewelry. And so, yeah, let's start the bidding on the red ones. Let's see. Moving aside, moving aside. How about the orange one? Let's start the bidding on the orange one. Again, this is on a 24-inch chain. Can't tell you what the metal is, but it is nickel free because that's what the package says. And here we have an orange fisheye with a little blingy um, glass crystal there. That's what the back looks like. Alrighty. Thank you so much for the tip, La Toxica. I really appreciate that. Wow, you are so generous. Thank you so much. So nice. Okay, I'm going to. You are so incredibly generous, La Toxica. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right, folks. For anyone who is interested in this orange baby, Um, I'm gonna run the auction here. And so, if you have any questions about these teardrop maldejo fish eyes, let me know while we run the auction. Yes, yes. And so, cool. Let's switch out to the red one. No, a lot of tropical fish have orange and red eyes. So if you like tropical fish, this might be the mal de ojo amulet for you. Gonna pop him on Mannequin Skywalker here. And I will be here, folks, showing off these pieces up until 7 o'clock. And then I will be uh, leaving at 7 uh, because I have another stream tonight. I'm on my husband's stream on earworms tonight on his channel. His YouTube channel is the Wayfair Project on YouTube, just in case you are interested in doing a little socializing. All right. Don't worry, folks. I will cycle back um to these pieces. All right. This is the last red one I have in the batch. I show them all off kind of separate because um, even when you try to reproduce a piece exactly, when you're doing things by hand, they never end up exactly the same. But that's the beauty of handmade things. It is unique. No one else has a piece exactly like yours. There's no way. There's no way to get like a factory clone results when you're dealing with handmade pieces like this. And so I'm going to run this one for anyone who is interested. And while this one's running, I'm going to get my next batch out. Okay, so we're going to continue with the fish eye theme, but the next fish eye are a little bit different. Fish eyes, excuse me, plural. Grammar, Liza, grammar. Uh, Guitar and programming lessons, the Wayfair project on YouTube. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm referring to. Yes, I'm referring to the Wayfarer project on YouTube. All right. The Wayfair project, by the way, is my husband. He also composes electronic music, but he is more, not more, he is a synthesist and a synthesis extraordinaire. And his tutorials revolve around making sounds from scratch on software and um, analog synthesizers. He is the best synthesis I know, by the way. Definitely check out his channel if you are interested in working with software, digital or analog synthesizers. Yep, yep, yep. On his the Wayfarer Project Learning channel, he also has some pure data tutorials. Um, yeah, which is where you can make your own software for music production or multimedia stuff. It's the I it's the free version of Max. It isn't as user friendly as Max 9, but if you want to do something similar without having to pay any subscription fees, yeah, you'll want to go the route of pure data. Anyways, next, let's get the other fisheye designs up on Mannequin Skywalker. Alrighty. Sambo, welcome. Welcome, welcome. So here we have a round fish eye design. And all of these amulets, folks, are made the same way. This is painted fish tank glass, embedded in hand-shaped, hand-painted polymer clay. See? It is polymer clay. It isn't metal. Um, Nice metallic paint happening there. Um, I think this chain is stainless steel, and there's a little fish charm at the end of it. I do believe that these round fisheye pieces are also 24 inches long. Let me double check for you. I have tape measure. Yeah. So these are also 24 inches long. And so I think I start the auctioning on these folks off, start them off at $4. So let's put this fisheye on Mannequin Skywalker. And for anyone who says, okay, yeah, I want it now, I'm going to start the bidding in just a moment. If not, don't worry, I shall run this fisheye again. I know that people like to look and see what's available before making a bid, and that is totally okay. I will run all of these pieces again before I leave to the Earworms live stream today. Alrighty, so let me. Oh, not up. Have the wrong listing up. Boop. Let me go to my shop. Let me go to the fisheye. Oh, no, I don't want to edit the listing. Go back. Okay. No. Can I pin you, fisheye? Okay, let me pin it. Pinning the fisheye. Yes. Okay. Okay. Alaric, Number 6, welcome. And so the bidding for this one, folks, starts at $4. And don't worry, if you don't want to make a bid now, I will cycle back on these pieces later. Again, um, I'll be here till 7 o'clock, working with you folks here. All right. Those of you watching on YouTube, I do appreciate you giving me the watch time. You guys all know that it's super hard gaining watch time here on YouTube. Um, I have a merch store where I have some cool t-shirt designs that I've put together myself. I Photoshop myself. You won't find my designs anywhere else. And I can't get the store shelf under my videos because I don't have enough watch time. And you're probably like, Liza, you have more than 1,000 subs. You need watch time in addition to 1,000 subs to get second tier monetization on YouTube, folks. So I really appreciate you watching because you being here watching my stream on YouTube and watching my stream on Whatnot, you are helping both of my channels out. So thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks to everyone watching my streams on YouTube and on Whatnot. Thank you so much. You're just being here helps me so much. Thank you. Anyway, um, okay. So I'm gonna switch to another fisheye piece. Again, with handmade pieces, you can try to repeat a design all you want. It's never going to be the same because you're not a machine. And so let me put the next round fisheye up. Okay. So the next round fisheye is a blue fisheye. Again, hand painted fish tank glass with hand shaped, hand painted polymer clay. As you can see, it's not metal, it's polymer clay. Stainless steel chain. And this one has a starfish charm. And isn't that an interesting and beautiful take on evil eye or mal de ojo jewelry, folks? Let me put this on Mannequin Skywalker so you could see what it looks like. Welcome, Anita Santita Samporto. What a cute username. Nice. Alrighty. Let's go here. There we go. And this is what he looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. Let's start the bidding on this one. For anyone who wants to snatch this one up right away, no worries, folks. I will cycle back on these pieces. I will be here until 7 o'clock. There you go. All right, let me pop up the next round fisheye piece. This one's a little larger and is on a different chain. Also stainless steel. And this one has a, what do you call this? A scallop shell charm. It is a little longer than 24 inch. this chain. It is a long chain, folks. So this one is meant to be worn long. Let's see what she looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. And this one has this type of look on it. I'll run it now for anyone who wants to snatch her up now, but don't worry, as I said, I will run these again before I leave the stream tonight. All right. And while the auction on this one's finishing up, let me get ready to present the next pieces. My gator eye amulets. Alrighty. Just detangling some pieces here. So, those of you who vibe more with gators than fish, I've got some gator eyes. Alright. You like the longer chain? Guitar and programming lessons? Cool. Cool. I have pieces on long chains like this, but I also have dragon eye pieces that are meant to be collarbone pieces. I have short pieces as well. The gator eye ones are more like medium pieces. I believe the chain length on these is 18 inches. I'll check that now. No, I was wrong. On this particular gator eye piece, it's 20 inches. The gator eye pieces vary a little more. Um, in this one, we have painted fish tank glass with embedded copper inlay. I've got a lot of copper tape for electronics, but I also use them in our jewelry. Embedded in this hand painted, hand sculpted polymer clay. Can't give you the material of this chain, but it is anodized in an antique brass color. I can't tell you if it's nickel free either, folks. So if you have metal allergies, if you like the eye, you'll have to replace the chain on it, because I can't tell you for sure with these gator eye pieces whether it's nickel free. But let's see what gator eye looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. So I'm gonna switch out the fisheye for our first gator eye of the evening. Goodbye, fisheye Chaito. There we go. Okay. And this is what gator eye looks like. These are definitely more dramatic. They stare back. They will start conversations for sure. And I'm going to switch the listing in the bottom, move from the fish to the gator eyes, and I'm going to start the auctioning off on the gator eyes at $4. All right. So if you want to snatch this one up, no worries. You can. I'll run all of them. But if you want to wait and make a bid later, that's okay. I'm going to run all of these pieces again. And yeah. Alrighty. So let me introduce the next gator eye. So, this next gator eye is a sparkly, gleamy green gator eye, also with a copper inlay. We use enamel paint for all of our eyes. Can you guess what type of enamel paint we use? Let me know in the chat if you have a guess. And of course, fish tank glass is embedded in hand-shaped, hand-painted polymer clay. The chain length on this one is, let me tell you, also 20 inches. Can't tell you the material of this chain, but it is anodized in like an antique copper, antique brass color. Can't tell you if it's nickel free. So again, if you like the eye but have metal allergies, you'll want to swap out the chain before wearing this piece. The fish eyes are nickel free, but the gator eyes, I can't tell you. Look at that gator eye that stares back. What a perfect mal de ojo amulet, right? Let me run this baby as I put him on Mannequin Skywalker here. Okay. Take a look at that. Now, YouTube folks, wouldn't this also make an interesting cigar box guitar headstock? Especially if you're in Gator country like I am. I don't mean Gator country as in the school, UF Gators. I mean, like, if you're in Florida, you're in Gator country. We've got gators everywhere. If you got a canal, if you got a river, if you got a puddle, you might have a gator in it. If you have a car, you might have a gator under your car. So they are our local dragons. So now, if you live anywhere in Key Biscayne, you also have crocodiles. But I don't make crocodile eyes, just gator eyes. Gators are nicer than crocodiles. They have a nicer temperament than crocodiles. All right. Did I run this one already? I'll run it again just in case anyone wants to snatch up Gator Eye here. I really like this green Gator Eye. All right. I love enamel paints. And I love when they're iridescent. I just bought some iridescent enamel paint for my new batch of eyes, which I'm going to start painting soon. I'm so excited. Fish tank glass. Again, I like fish tank glass better than cabochons that are calibrated because their irregularities just make the eyes look more organic. So, love fish tank glass. Now, if you're going to try this eye painting yourself, folks, make sure that you get fish tank glass that isn't coated in titanium. Those are the ones that are slightly iridescent. You won't be able to see the detail through those eyes. These these are difficult to find, but when you can find them, especially without the titanium coating in this size, don't resist the urge to buy them. So, anyways, again, great for jewelry. I'm also thinking of making like armlets with my new fish tank glass, with vegetable tanned leather, um, engraved with my laser engraver, and also want to make cigar box guitar headstocks with my fish tank glass. Can't wait to pursue those new designs, folks. Stay tuned. Anyways, let's move on to the next Gator Eye. Bye, Gator Eye. Chaito. For those of you who like blue, I've got a blue Gator Eye here. Again, hand painted fish tank glass, hand shaped, hand painted polymer clay. Chain length on this one, it seems to be the same as the other ones, but let me double check, because again, these are more irregular than my fish eye amulets, also 20 inches. And again, this is on a metal that's toned in antiqued brass color. Can't give you the material for this metal, so if you have a metal allergy but like the eye, you're going to have to replace the chain on it, folks. But if you don't have a metal allergy, then no worries. Here you go. I'm going to place Blue Gator Eye amulet on Mannequin Skywalker. Let's see what he looks like on there. I haven't decided whether Mannequin Skywalker is a Jedi or a Sith. What do you guys think in the in the chat? Let me know. I'm gonna run Blue Gator Eye here for anyone who's interested and wants to snatch it up right away. This one does gleam. Japoki, welcome. All right. And while you're taking a look at this Blue Gator Eye Malejo amulet, let me start grabbing the next one to show off. Here we have a coppery Gator Eye amulet. Again, this is painted fish tank glass, hand painted, of course, embedded in hand shaped, hand painted polymer clay. Again, this metal, can't tell you what it is, but it's in an antiqued brass color. If you have a metal allergy, you'll want to replace the chain on this piece because I don't know what this chain is made out of. Again, with the fish eyes, they're nickel free, but with my gator eyes, I don't know, folks. These are earlier pieces, and we weren't paying attention when we went out shopping for crafting materials. So, anyway, let me put this gator eye amulet, Madejo amulet, on Mannequin Skywalker, and uh, run the auction for anyone who wants to snatch it up right now. But don't worry, I'll be here till 7 o'clock and I will run these pieces later. All right. So replacing. There we go. And that's what she looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. Let's take a look. While the auction is running, let's take a closer look. Again, definitely conversation starters. If you just jumped in on the stream and want to hear my spiel about about the history of mal de ojo jewelry or evil eye jewelry, just rewind. Um, I know that you guys on Whatnot can't do that, but if you go to my YouTube channel, same username on YouTube, and go to the stream, rewind, and you could hear a little history on what inspired these pieces. Joe Beans, welcome. Welcome, welcome. I got my superstars in today. Cool Beans, La Toxica, and Joe Beans, my superstars. All right. Alrighty, let me put up the next Gator Eye piece. I am so thrilled, Joe Beans, that you are enjoying your pieces. Ooh, big hug to you. Nothing makes an artist more happy than people loving their art. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Let me show you the next Gator Eye. This one. Thank you so much, Joe Beans. And remember, I'm not the only artist on this channel. These pieces are collabs between me and my mama. So I call her after these streams to report on how our pieces did. And yeah, yep. Yeah, green bluish. Green bluish. I'm going to be painting more eyes soon for new designs, folks. So stay tuned. Follow my channel. I've got some new designs for jewelry and for cigar box guitar headstocks coming up. So stay tuned. Follow the channel. All right. So this is a gator eye amulet. Hand painted fish tank glass. Hand shaped, hand painted polymer clay. Again, I can't give you I don't know what this metal's made out of. I can't tell you if it's nickel free. For the fish eyes, it is. For this one, I don't know. So if you have a metal allergy, you'll have to replace the chain on this one. I'll put this on Mannequin Skywalker as I run it. Anyone who's interested in this piece can go ahead and grab it. But don't worry, I will be here till 7. And I will be running these pieces again today at 7 o'clock. Ooh, sorry, I bumped the camera. My bad. My bad, folks. And so, this is what she looks like. Joe Beans! You won! Yay! I'm so glad you're taking this baby home. Thank you so much, Joe Beans. Folks, this gator eye now belongs to Joe Beans. I hope your best friend enjoys this gator eye, Joe Beans. I hope your friend loves it. All right, I'm going to pack this away for Joe Beans. I will be back in a second, folks. All right. You write down your details. Joe Beans. So, large gator eye amulet. Eye. $4. And this one copper inlay, blue, and purple. Inlay, purple. Okay. And so, awesome. One's an art gallery. Joe Beans, that is incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What an incredible opportunity to have someone who owns an art gallery wear my jewelry. That is an incredible opportunity for me and this shop. Thank you so very much. Wow. Folks, you never know who you're going to meet here on Whatnot and on YouTube. Wow. I'm honored. This piece is going home with Joe Beans for her best friend, Chaito. Okay. Now, I do have some more gator eye, folks. This one's a coppery fellow. Again, hand painted fish tank glass embedded in polymer clay, hand shaped, hand painted. This chain seems a little longer. Let me. Thank you so much, Joe Beans. My mom and I, yeah, I must say we are a good team. We vibe in the same way. So I'm hoping to bring her on the stream. Um, when she's I live in North Florida. She lives in Miami. But she's gonna be moving up to North Florida soon. So once she's all up settled up here, I want to bring her onto the stream so y'all can meet her, meet the the two artists of this channel. So yeah, she's quite a character. We're gonna have fun during that stream, folks. I must say. All right, let me give you the chain length for this one. This one is on a Ariese. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. You're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce that. How to pronounce your username. This one is on a, excuse me, I bumped the phone again. 24-inch chain again. I can't tell you what this antiqued brass chain is made out of. So if you have metal allergies, you're going to have to replace the chain if you like this gator eye amulet. But I will place this baby on Mannequin Skywalker as I run it for anyone who would like to snatch it up. All right. Galangeles, welcome. Welcome, welcome. And thank you so much, Joe Beans. Thank you so much. All right. So, this is what she looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. All right. I do have one more large gator eye piece. And then I have some smaller gator eye pieces to bring into the fold. And then afterwards, I have some small gator eye pieces. And then after the small gator eye pieces, folks, um, wait, wait. Many of you haven't seen my owl eyes yet. So we can't cycle back to the fish eyes until you've seen the lechuza eyes. So, yeah. We'll do the small gator eye pieces, then the owl eyes, and then we'll cycle back to the fish eyes. Okay. So the last gator eye is a bit of a sleepy gator. Yeah, this one came out a little different to the other ones. He is on a 24-inch chain, meant to be worn long. Again, hand painted polymer clay. And embedded inside of it is hand painted fish tank glass. This one also has a copper inlay. So I'll place this one on Mannequin Skywalker for anyone who wants to make a bid. And don't worry, I will cycle back to these folks. No worries. Jack, though, welcome. Welcome. Jack, though, you're looking at Gator Eye, Mal de Ojo, or Evil Eye amulets. And you can definitely dispel jealousy with these guys because they stare right back. Although, Jane Cole, welcome. Although this Gator Eye is kind of sleepy. I'll run this one before moving on to the next Gator Eye category, which is a smaller Gator Eye amulet. Gator Eye amulets. Grammar's hard. Sorry, folks. Alrighty. Oh, thank you for the heart. We have a really nice community here on Whatnot, don't we? Super nice. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna switch this guy up for. Oh, wait. We have one more large gator eye. This one has somewhat of a hazel gator eye with copper inlay. I forgot about this one. You're right, Joe Beans. This community is so supportive. I've been thrown aback here on Whatnot. You know? Really nice people on this platform. Welcome, Meg Bach. Welcome. And so this one is on a, let me get the chain length on this one before I run it. 20-inch gator eye. Again, we have hand painted fish tank glass with a copper inlay in hand shaped, hand painted polymer clay. The chain length is 20-inch on this one. Can't give you the metal, so if you have a metal allergy, folks, you're gonna have to switch out the chain on this one. But let's see what he looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. And let's run it for anyone who is interested in snatching this one up. Thank you, Joe Beans, for saying that. I'm going to read your chat out loud, Joe Beans. And this is Joe Beans. And for anyone new here, these beautiful pieces shine even more amazingly in the sunlight. They are super interesting. Thank you so much, Joe Beans. I appreciate that. All right. Now, let me bring in one of my small gator eyes. So these are the large guys that are about 2 inches in diameter. These coming up are a little ornate, but they're smaller. So this beauty is on a pretty long chain. My description says 28 inches long. And again, made the same way as the large ones. We have hand painted polymer, hand painted fish tank glass with a copper inlay in there, embedded in hand shaped hand painted polymer clay. Can't give you the material of this chain. It looks like stainless steel, but don't quote me on that, folks. If you have a metal allergy, you might want to change it out. Let me run this one for anyone who is interested. This one is meant to be worn long. Let me find, I have a specific listing for this one. Let me find them in the shop. Oh, I don't. I don't have a particular listing for this one. Grr. Grr, grr, grr. Okay, I'll run it in the small Gatorite auction category. So I'll start the auctioning off for this one at $4, and here we go. Here we go. Thank you for the heart. Super nice. Super nice and positive community. Love it. Love it, love it. This is what it looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. I know. I know. I'm a nerdy Star Wars fan. I know. Thank you for the follow, Jane Cole. I appreciate that. And I appreciate those watching on YouTube. Thank you so much, folks. I know you're not here participating in the auction, but you just hanging out with me here, it helps my YouTube channel. It really does. So thanks so much. And YouTube chat. If you have any questions about any of the pieces, let me know. And there's also a link to Whatnot in the video description box if you feel like joining. How to heart me. I'm not sure. I'm a Jane Cole. I'm new to this platform too, so I don't know where all of these cool features are. Um, Angie Lois, welcome. Joe Bean says to tap the screen twice. Thank you so much. Love the hearts, folks. I love the love. Thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna switch out Gatoreye, small Gatoreye for another Gatoreye. Similar, but not the same. They're never the same because we're not machines. We can't, even if we wanted to replicate this exactly, it's handmade, so it never comes out uh, the same. So yes, let's switch them out. And here we have a bluer Gatoreye, hand painted fish tank glass with a copper inlay. Got lots of copper tape because I love dabbling with audio electronics. This one is on a chain that is, let me see what my description says, 28.5 inches long, so pretty long. Let's see what this baby looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. Again, don't know the chain material for this batch. I don't know if this is nickel free. For the fish eyes, all of my fish eyes are on nickel free chains, but with these earlier batches, I can't tell you, folks. So if you got a metal allergy, you'll want to change them out. All right, so this is what this guy looks like. And I'm just running him here for anyone who's interested in snatching him up quickly. But don't worry, I will run these again. So after, thanks for the heart. After these Gatorize, excuse me, after I get done with the Gatorite amulets, we'll move on to my owls. And then we'll cycle back to the fish eyes, folks. All right. All right. However, welcome. So, this is the last Gatorite amulet of the evening, folks. Again, we have hand painted fish tank glass with a copper inlay. Love the hearts. Thank you so much. Hi. Hi, however. Yes, I make mal de ojo. Me and my mom make unique mal de ojo amulets. I also build cigar box guitars, and I'm gonna try to get those on this platform. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out a way to ship them with insurance without it costing an arm or a leg. So I will get back to you about that, folks, when I have things figured out for sure. But the research continues. This one is on a, let me see what my description says. 23-inch chain. Don't know the chain material, folks. So if you have a metal allergy, you're going to want to be safe and replace the chain. Fish eyes are on nickel free chains, but with these, I don't know. We weren't careful shopping when we so, bought these materials. But let's see what this one looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. And I'll run it for anyone who wants to make a bid now. But don't worry, I will cycle back on these pieces before I leave the live at 7. Maybe I can get an extension because my husband's stream on YouTube starts at 7:15, but well, it's supposed to start at 7:15, but sometimes it runs later because he waits for another stream to end, and so our start time is affected by the start time of that other stream. So don't worry, I will cycle back on these folks. But if you want to make a request and want me to run something specific that you saw before on the stream, let me know. I'd be happy to take requests at any time. Okay, now it's time to see the owl eye mal de ojo amulets. And these are big, folks. These are JD Webb, welcome. These are more, I would say that my owl eyes are the most dramatic pieces of all of our eye amulets. They really do stare back intensely. Alrighty. Okay. So I have 3 owl eyes to show off today. Take a look at that, folks. Big, dramatic owl eye. Yep. The chain on this guy is very heavy. I don't know what the material is, but on this batch it is nickel free. Don't know the metal, but it's a nickel free alloy. So these are safe for people with metal allergies. Again, these owl eyes are constructed the same way as the other ones. Hand painted polymer clay. Excuse me, hand painted fish tank glass embedded in hand painted hand shaped polymer clay. And the length on this chain, I think, is 24 inches, but let me check here. It's a tad bit longer than 24 inches. Let's see what owl eye looks like on Mannequin Skywalker, and we'll run this one. But don't worry, if you don't want to make a bid yet, I will cycle back to him later. Alrighty. Okay. Let's get this going here. Yeah. She is dramatic. Definitely. Let me give you a closer look. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I'm running the wrong. Okay. I'm running it under Gator Eyes. That's okay. That's okay. If anyone made a bid on it, that's okay. I'm good. This one, I need to pull up the mystery box category because when I unboxed these, they were in this. If you remember the surprise unboxing session, that's when I first ran these. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. So I have 3 owl eyes, and you can start the bidding at $7. Again, these are hand painted, hand shaped owl eye amulets. Gilded, welcome. Welcome. We have a nice group going here today on Whatnot and on YouTube. YouTube folks, thanks so much for being here and checking out my other work. I appreciate that. I also greatly appreciate the watch time, YouTube folks. Thank you so much. Alrighty. So, no worries. I will cycle back to this owl eye. Let me show you the other owl eye I have. Here's another owl eye piece. Now, even when you try to replicate a piece, because these are hand painted, hand shaped, they never come out quite the same. Don't come out quite the same. So let's run this one separately. Alrighty. I'm going to put this one on Mannequin Skywalker. Chain length is the same, about 24 inches. And if you're interested in snatching up this guy, you can. Angelita Will, welcome. Alrighty. And we can cycle back on these owl eyes um, if anyone's interested. So what I'm going to do now, folks, is um, run all of my pieces again. But in the course of me doing that, if you want me to run a specific piece, let me know and I will absolutely do so. Down to earth deals. Welcome. Welcome. All right, so now we're going to go back to my fisheye mal de ojo jewelry. We're going to cycle back. Cycle back. And I'm going to switch. Okay, I'm in the right category. I'm in the mixed mystery box category. So we're going to start with the teardrop sundown. Welcome. All right, so we're going to cycle back to our teardrop mal de ojo fish eye jewelry. And let's start with this purple one. Let's run this baby. So if you would like to snatch this one up, what we got here is hand-painted fish tank glass embedded in hand-shaped, hand-painted polymer clay. You have a little glass bead there that's blingy. Can't tell you what this metal's made out of, but it is nickel-free. It is a nickel-free alloy. And the chain length, 24 inches on this baby already. Okay, now I'm going to put this baby away, but if you would like me to run it again before I end the stream, you can ask me to do so in the chat. I do not mind at all. Alrighty, so let's switch to a blue teardrop shaped Maldejo fish eye amulet. Let's run this baby. See what he looks like on Mannequin Skywalker. Same materials as the purple one, folks. But if you have any questions, let me know. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. And I'm running this one for anyone who's interested in snatching this one up. Again, hand-painted fish tank glass embedded in hand-painted hand-shaped polymer clay. We have a little crystal there. We have a nickel-free chain, 24 inches long on these pieces. Sipandred, welcome. All right, now I'm going to switch this out for an orange one, but if you want me to run this one again, feel free to request it in the chat. I will run anything that you've seen before in the stream. I will run anything again before I leave the stream. Gotta leave the stream at 7. I'll try to run a little bit longer if I can, but can't make any promises, folks. Here is a orange Mal de Ojo fish eye amulet. I'm gonna run this as I put them on Mannequin Skywalker, so anyone who's interested can snatch her up. The chain length is 24 inches long, just like the previous pieces. Construction is the same as the previous pieces. And there you have it. There you have it, folks. These are definitely the more delicate of our Mal de Ojo or Evil Eye amulets. They're of the more elegant variety. Let's switch out to the red one. Yes. Actually, I've got two red. Can I see the Gatorade pendants? Would you like to see the large or the small Gatorade pieces? Here I have one of the large Gatorades. The large ones are about 2 inches in length. I mean, in diameter. Okay, let me show you the small ones then. I have oops, excuse me, blue one here. These are about 1 inch in diameter. And I have another blue one. But since they're handmade, they're slightly different. And I have a light green one. And I forgot to show these earlier, but I'll show them now. I have these gator eyes on a stretchy fabric necklace as well. I have a red one and I have a blue one. All right. And yeah, these are the small ones that I have left. Let me know if you're interested in any of them, and I will. What alive? What alive? Welcome. Can you run the gator eye on the stretchy orange? Sure, Joe Beans, absolutely. Um, do you mean this one? The oh, the okay, okay, I'll run this one, not a problem. This one is the the fabric necklace is about 20 inches. Looks like that, or would look like that more or less. I will run this one. Let me change up the shop listing. Pin start auction. All right, starting the auction on this. Yeah. So let me know if you'd like to see any other area of this piece, Joe Beans. All right. Let me bring it closer to the light so we can examine it closely. Again, this one's on a stretchy fabric necklace. Here's the back side of it. And this is what she looks like up close. She's about 1 inch in diameter. And would you like me to run this one or another piece, Joe Beans? Yeah, sure, I'll run it. Not a problem. Here we go. Starting. There we go. All right, Joe Beans, I think this piece is going to go home with you. That's what the back looks like. All right. All right. Thank you, Joe Beans. This piece is going home with Joe Beans. Let me write you down, Joe Beans, so that I don't mix up any orders. All right. Joe Beans. Okay, get around. Fabric. Alrighty. This baby's going home with Joe Beans. Chaito, folks. Chaito. Oh, for another friend that works with animals. Oh, that's a very nice gift. Super cool. I hope this friend enjoys their gator eye. She's a vet tech. Oh my god, that's awesome. let me know what she says. Let me know what she says. I'm curious. She's probably gonna be like, Joe Beans, where did you get this? For all sorts of different animals. Does she work with reptiles? In Arizona. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Well, I'm honored and oh, I'm so curious. You will let me know what she says. Even if it's like, what? This is strange jewelry. Let me know. All right, folks. So we're reaching the last 10 minutes of the stream. Is there any particular piece you'd like me to run before I log off? Again, I have the teardrop fish eyes. Oh, that would be awesome, Joe Beans. Yeah, if she's okay with that, if she can take a picture of her wearing her gator eye, carrying a critter, that would be great. But again, you know, only if it only if it happens naturally and it's easy. I don't want to annoy any animals. Did I have more colors in the fish eyes? Well, are we talking about the teardrop fish eyes or the round fish eyes? I have four colors for the teardrop fish eyes and just three colors for the round ones. Texas RN, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'll hold them up here for the. I guess I really only have three different colors for the teardrop and for the round ones. Okay, round. I only have three colors for the round ones. I have blue and I have sort of a yellow greenish color. And I have this one's a little different because it's larger and I have orange. So that's what I have for the round ones for now. I have blue, yellow, and a big one in orange. Would you like me to run any of these? The green? Okay. Alrighty. So now Mannequin Skywalker isn't exactly the size of a person, so I will put it on there so you can see what it'll look like on a person more or less. But here's a close up on this guy. And this one has a fish charm close to the um, clasp at the end. So I will run this. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Don't bid yet, Joe Beans. I'm running it on the wrong category and I don't want to get the shipping wrong. Sorry about that. Grr. Let me put him on Mannequin Skywalker here. There we go. Okay, let me switch out the category before I do that. Let's see. Go to the shop. Fish eye, round fish eyes. Okay. So let me put that one and let me. Okay. Start auction. Okay. There we go. Now we're running. And of course, Joe Beans is at the lead here for this beautiful Mal de Ojo fisheye amulet. There we go. And Joe Beans is still winning. Yeah. Oh, okay. Cool Beans. Thank you, Joe Beans. Yeah, I couldn't see what that emoji was. It's like, what? Okay. Joe Beans has won the race again, folks. This piece is going home with Joe Beans. Chaito. Alrighty. All right. Just writing down. I'll leave you guys something to look at while I write down Joe Bean's listing. Oh, Joe Beans, thank you so much for supporting my shop. Really much appreciated. And I hope that your friends enjoy these pieces. Um, really hope that they love them. All right. Fish eye round. Um, blue Joe Beans. Okay. This fish is going home with Joe Beans. Chaito. Here we go. All right. Very cool, folks. Very cool. Um, have a great night, Joe Beans. Thank you so much. Really, really greatly appreciated. Okay, so um 2 minutes left in the live, folks, because I have to run and get ready for being a co-host on my husband's live stream on YouTube. It's the Earworms live stream on the Wayfarer Project. So if you're interested in doing something social tonight, you can join us over on YouTube if you like. But before I leave, I'd just like to ask if you'd like me to run um, any of the pieces I showed here on the live, let me know and I'll run them uh, in these last few minutes. And yeah, I'd be happy to do so. We got fish eyes, we got large and small gator eyes, and we have owl eyes, big owl eyes. All right. So make your requests during the last minute of the live. If anyone makes a request, I will make an extension, of course. But thanks so much for everyone watching on YouTube and everyone who joined me here on Whatnot. YouTube folks, you you know, even though you didn't participate in the auction, you just being here, watching my stream, seeing what else I do, um, helps helps me on YouTube, helps me gain watch time. It's so hard to get watch time on YouTube, and so you just being here is supporting my work, and I really, really thank you for that. And those of you who joined me today on Whatnot, thank you so much for being here and interacting with the auctions and asking questions about the pieces. I really, really appreciate you. So it's 7 o'clock, so I gotta mosey over to the Earworms live stream on YouTube, again on my husband's channel at the Wayfair Project. But I will be here once again next Sunday at 5 p.m. selling my wares, folks. So mark your calendars. Mark your calendars. And I will keep you up to date about my cigar box guitars. I really want to sell them on here on this platform. But again, I got to figure out the shipping insurance issue. All right. I will keep you all posted about that. Again, thanks so much for being here. Have a great Easter Sunday evening and chaito.